Mahadev Atmanaha. In the previous video, we discussed the Atharva Ved. We saw how the 20 different Kand, the 20 chapters of the Atharva Ved, were the origin for many of the cultural practices and traditions which essentially make up the Vedic culture. We also concluded the Veda section, and now we shall proceed to the next section, the Vedanta texts, also called the Veda Vangmaya. The Veda Vangmaya comes from two terms, Vang and Maya. In Sanskrit we call it Adhikyarthe Mayat Pratyay, and it means when you have much of, you use the term Maya. So Vang meaning words and Maya meaning that which is a lot of. So a lot of terms is known as Vangmaya, or permeated by words is known as Vangmaya. In this we have the Sanhitā, the Aranyaka, the Brahmana and the Upanishads. These four ultimately make up the entire Ved. In this video we will be talking about Sanhitā. The term Sanhitā comes from, of course, some upsarg, the prefix, and hita. The term hita comes from dudhaya dharana poshanayoho. Dharan means to hold, and poshan means to sustain. So that which holds, that which sustains, or that which has, because it is hita, is a past tense, that which has been put together, that which has been put into form, and sam, which means perfectly. Samyak hitam pratipadyam yasya sa iti sanhita. Samyak hitam, that which has samyak. Samyak means perfectly or completely. Hitam, which means to be put together. Pratipadyam, that which has been discussed, that which has been elaborated upon. Yasya sa, that by which. That is called a Sanhita. So the text, the actual body of text, which has been discussed upon, which has been formulated and put together, is called a Sanhita. In the Sanskrit language, we call this a Bahuvrihi Samas, but that is, of course, a part of Sanskrit grammar. Now we shall take a look at the various different Sanhitas according to the Ved that we have already discussed. In the Rig Ved, we have the Rig Ved Sanhita, which is the textual body of the Rig Ved. Naturally, we discussed the 10 different mandals, and altogether, all in all, 10,552 mantras make up what is known as the Rig Ved Sanhita. In the Samaveda Sanhita, there are 1,875 mantras. We discussed in the Samved how musical annotations were put to these mantras, and that is why it is called Saman, meaning songs of Samved. The third, which is the Yajurved, there are differences of mantra count according to the different recensions, according to the different shakhas. So, of course, Madhyandina Shakha has got 1,975 mantras, whereas the Kanva Shakha has got more, with 2,086 mantras in total. And in the previous video, as discussed the Atharva Ved, we discussed 5,897 mantras, which make up the Atharva Ved Sanhita. The Ved is also called Trayi. Trayi comes from, of course, the term meaning three. Three because it is the declination of the different type of mantras. In the Rig Ved, we have the Rik or the Richas, the praises. That is one type, that is one form of mantras. In the Samved, we have Saman or Samagan, that which is sung. So the mantras which are sung are constituted in the Samaveda Sanhita. And that is the reason why that is another type of mantra. The third type of mantra, as we discussed in the Yajurved video, Gadyatmakaha Yajuhu. That means that which has Gadya or prose is known as Yajuhu, Yajush. And therefore, this is the third type of mantra. When we have all these different types, we have the Rik, Richa, we have the Saman, we have the Yajush. These three different types of mantras are called the Trayi. Of course, one pertaining to each type of Ved. This is why Ved is also called Trayi. This was a short description of the various different Sanhitas which make up the Ved. Of course, the term Sanhita is a very popular term in the Sanskrit language. Any text pertaining to rules and regulations, formulations, ideas, various different ones, whether they may be Vedic, which we've discussed, or even post-Vedic literature. That also, we will of course be discussing various different Ayurvedic texts. We will be taking a look at Jyotish, we'll be taking a look at mathematics, astronomy, all sorts of different Shastras, all sorts of different academic disciplines within the Vedic culture, within the Sanatan Dharma. And this term, Sanhita, will come up regularly, because when you have these ideas which have been elaborated upon and have been put together, that in itself is a Sanhita. This video was of course about the Vedic Sanhita, because we are discussing the Vedic Vangmaya. So do continue, as we do have another many videos in this section as well. We will be taking a look at the Aranyaka and the Brahman and the Upanishads in this section. Do continue watching. Please do like, share and subscribe this channel. Mahadev.